Alrighty guys, we're back for some Rakdos Nightmare, and this is a Dominaria United Standard brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you guys. Okay, what do we got in the build? Well, the build was kind of based around Braids, Arisen, Nightmare. So this is a 3-mana 3/3 at the beginning of your end step. You may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. So very cool. A great way to draw cards, honestly, because sometimes your opponents aren't going to have artifacts, so you could sacrifice like a blood token, have this deal 2 damage to your opponent and draw a card. It just seems pretty powerful, doesn't it? Now, we also have a very small vampire theme in here too, but let's go over all the cards and then you'll just see, right? We got a single cut down, just amazing removal. Only one in here because we do have other ways to remove stuff that might be better. I don't really know. We have a couple. Gift of Fangs to match the vampire theme, and it works as an enchantment aura that you can sacrifice to Braids if need be. So, enchanted creature gets +2/+2 as long as it's a vampire. Otherwise, it gets -2/-2. So, it could be pretty decent early game removal, honestly. Or, against a deck where you don't need to see the removal, maybe you can get a couple extra damage through every turn by equipping this to one of your vampires. Attaching this to one of your vampires. I shouldn't say equip, right? Because that's actually a thing. We got 4 Voldaren Epicures, just an amazing 1-drop. That 1 damage goes a long way. The blood token goes even further, and it's a vampire. Got 4 Voltage Surge. We don't see Voltage Surge very often anymore, do we? It's a little bit surprising. You'll still see it in like the artifact builds, I suppose, but yeah, there's definitely going to be enough blood tokens floating about in this build for Voltage Surge to work well. I think the 4 damage is probably going to be better than the cut down. I don't really know. I think there's going to be... We're going to need to test it and see, right? And see how often we'd say stuff like, oh man, if only we had a cut down here instead of the Voltage Surge, but we'll see, right? We have a couple Tenacious Underdogs. You guys know it. It's way too good not to include at least a couple of these in here. We got 4 Voldaren Bloodcasters, a 2-mana 2/1 with flying. When it or another non-token creature you control dies, create a blood token. Then, whenever you create a blood token, if you control 5 or more blood tokens, transform Voldaren Bloodcaster. It transforms into Bloodbat Summoner. This is a flying 3/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, up to 1 target blood token you control becomes a 2/2 black bat creature with flying and haste, in addition to its other types. Very cool card. We got 4 Bloodtithe Harvesters, just the most powerful vampire in here probably, right? 2-mana 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, you create a blood token. You can tap it, sack it. Target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is twice the number of blood tokens you control. Activate only as a sorcery. Very good card, and you guys have seen it a lot probably. We got 3 Meathook Massacres, because of course, and in a build like this, you're not afraid to just run this out for X is 0, because yeah, it'll do a lot still. So, I mean, that's not necessarily something you want to do on turn 2 unless you know for a fact that it's not going to hit too much of the opponent's creatures. But yeah, it's a terrific card. Probably, what would you guys say is the best card in Standard right now? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. I am leaning towards the Meathook Massacre being the best card, but I don't know, because it depends. It could be situational, but the number of times you just dread seeing Meathook on the opponent's field, I don't know, man. It's tough. We got 3. Oh, I already went over the Braids. Well, there they are again, right? We got 4 Fable of the Mirror Breakers. The first token on this generates treasures, which could go with the Voltage Surge, but the treasure happens to be great to help us just play more cards in a single turn and stuff. We only have 23 land, and I think that's going to be enough for this build. The average cost is 2.1, so I do think 23 land is going to be enough, but you never know when those treasures are going to come in handy. Now, our poor 2/2 Goblin Shaman doesn't survive that often anymore for some reason. It's very rare to actually swing in with one. But when we do, it comes in handy. This also helps us cycle through our hand a little bit. You can always discard cards like Tenacious Underdog and then draw more. Then when it comes to Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, there are alright non-legendary creature targets to copy with this. So yeah, even as simple as like a Voldaren Epicure, right? Because it enters and deals a couple damage. Even copying the Bloodtithe Harvester to get the extra blood token could be cool. So yeah, lots of cool things with Fable. We got 3 Ob Nixilis the Adversaries, 3 mana, 3 loyalty planeswalker with casualty X. And then the copy isn't legendary as it's starting loyalty and has starting loyalty of X. So you guys probably have seen Ob Nixilis enough for me not to go over it. But I personally haven't seen Ob Nixilis that much in the current meta. So I figured we might want to go over it just briefly here. So the -7 you actually want to look at because it's not as hard as you would think to get to the -7 on Ob Nixilis. Target player draws 7 cards and loses 7 life. And often at that point, your opponent is so low, you could even just do it to your opponent and have them lose the 7 life. And hopefully they don't draw something good that could save them. You want to be cautious about that. The -2 creates a Red Devil, a 1/1. When it dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. So that's terrific for this style of deck. And then the top ability, each opponent loses 2 life unless they discard a card. If you control a demon or devil, you gain 2 life. Very nice. Very powerful card, and I'm shocked we don't see it more often. 2 Henrikas on the top end here, along with a single Sorin. So more vampires to go with the vampire theme, and the vampire theme is really only in here for the couple Gift of Fangs. But then there's just like, yeah, the vampires just work well with the whole blood token nonsense, voltage surge goodness, and then the Braids being able to sacrifice those extra artifacts and deal extra damage to your opponent while drawing. And it's just like, yeah, everything seems like it's going to fit together quite nicely. I think Sorin, the -2 is probably what you use more often than not when this originally comes down, because sometimes you're just going to need to protect it for a turn, but then the +1 kind of acts as an extra draw ability in here too, which is pretty good. And then of course the Henrikas have all these incredible abilities, including one being each player sacrifices a creature. There's a lot of just great targets for us to sacrifice in comparison to what we could be making the opponent sacrifice. Also, just another way to draw cards too. You could also choose this one where you draw a card and lose 1 life. Or if you're up against an aggro deck and you're about to die, maybe just transform Henrika when it comes down right away. Flying Death Touch Lifelink 3/4 when it's transformed. This card's ridiculous. Also has another ability here too, where you can pay double black, 1 and double black, sorry. Each creature you control with Flying, Death Touch, and or Lifelink, each get +1/+0 until end of turn. So that'll work with the Lifelink Vampire from Sorin. That'll work with the Flying on the Bloodcaster. So that is pretty sick, right? Okay, guys, I think I went over everything well. We got the Sulfurous Springs, the Haunted Ridge, a Crucible, and an Abandoned Mire, and hopefully a good mix of mountains and swamps here. I think it'll be all right. I don't think the mana's going to hold us up too much here. A ton of honorable mentions, guys. First of all, Liliana of the Veil is so powerful. You might want to try to squeeze it in here, but our reliance on creatures is actually pretty huge here, and Liliana is not a creature, and we already have Ob Nixilis in here too. The thing is, Liliana mixes with Braids well too, because at some point maybe you've already used the -2 on Liliana, and the +1 ability might not be that good at that time, so maybe you sacrifice Liliana to the Braids ability, because it is literally like artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. That is a lot, so that could work really well. Lagomos could be really cool. Generating that elemental every turn to sacrifice to Braids sounds awesome, but the elemental doesn't work with cards like Bloodcaster, and it's really hard to find room for a lot of these, huh? Vulcan Wrath Forebear, so this is a 3-mana 3/1 with flying, and it can't block, and I think that's what holds this card back the most. But when it deals combat damage to a player, you create a blood token. That's actually nasty, especially when you can pay 1, sacrifice 2 blood tokens to return this from your grave to the battlefield. Like, at some point, I'm going to have to return to vampires and try out 4 of these in a build and see if we can get it to work. Because it seems pretty good, huh? Eaten Alive could be a sick way to remove things, but we got the couple Gift of Fangs already at sorcery speed, so it depends. Jadar is a card that I've been squeezing into a lot of my builds to help me out against like the mono black builds and all the Lilianas floating about, but not this time round. We got Reckoner's Bargain as another honorable mention, instant speed, a 2 mana as an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. So you could just sacrifice a blood token, for example. You gain life equal to the sacrificed permanent's mana value. Okay, draw 2 cards. Nice. This could be great card draw and a build, so just something to think about. Riveteer's Requisitioner, being able to blitz this out on turn 3 is completely fine, especially when after it sacrifices itself, you get that treasure token, so it could go a long way, but I wanted the vampire theme, and I couldn't really think of what to drop for a Requisitioner other than like a Bloodcaster or something, which I definitely don't want to do. And last but not least, Oni Cult Anvil. Not this time, guys, not this time round. The Oni Cult is gonna get its own build at some point, and I wanted to make a Braids deck, and then I started with the vampire theme being fit in here too. I couldn't find room for Oni Cult, and I think it deserves its own deck anyways, so alrighty guys, I think that's everything. I hope I went over it well enough. Either way, let's go ahead, hop into some ranked and see how we do. Alright, we'll see if we can get right into the first match here. Heck yeah, we can. 5 seconds. There must be so many people playing these last couple weeks. Like, seriously, though. We don't have any wait times. This is a bad hand, isn't it? Oh, man. Alright, we're going to keep it. We have the Meathook. We have emergency removal from Voltage Surge. But this deck is definitely trying to do a little bit more of an aggressive thing than what this hand is portraying, so... Hello, opponent. Hello, my friend. Nice. We actually got a 2-drop here. That is terrific. So, Bloodtithe does die to a cut down, which is a shame. But it's still worth trying. There's the cut down. Okay. Yeah, it's still worth trying. Even if we saved it back, it's not like it's not gonna die to a cut down later on, you know? Ellis, hi! My goodness. Tenacious Underdog. Do we Voltage Surge on our turn? Cleric build, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna Voltage Surge on my turn. Submit 0. How do you guys feel about that? I don't want any opportunity for the opponent to be able to sacrifice that, or you know what I mean? I'm not entirely sure what will be in a cleric build. But I don't think they trade here, and the third Ob Nixilis is awful. We could also go blood token, but I mean actually it's not that awful. Let's see if they trade first. I think they take the 3. And let's do this. Casualty Ob Nixilis. Get rid of that Tenacious Underdog. And we're gonna go -2 on the main one as a blocker for the Shadow Right Priest. And actually, I'm okay with getting another Devil down. Okay. Here's why. We have 2 more Ob Nixilis in hand if we want to casualty these out. Like next turn we can plus both of the Obs. We have great blockers. Nice, bring the Ellis back to hand. That's sick. Oh my goodness. This has lifelink too. We want to be careful there. Not seeing a lot of mana here, but we only have 23. But that should be enough to eventually see our 4th too, so. All right. This turn is a simple one. We're going to start by plussing the Ob Nixilis and see what the opponent does. Probably just take some damage here. Oh, they go for discarding the courtyard. Okay. And then it's probably the blood token. We want to be able to hit everything for 3 off the Meathook, I would assume, because this is... Now that's a 2-2. We just got to hit this. We want to make sure this dies too, though. Yeah, we do this on our turn in case we draw a land. And it's going to be one of the Ob Nixilis. The Henrika could really come in handy here with the flying. Ah, but all these Obs could be really good too. Another Meathook, huh? I don't think we play it. Yeah, I think we hold everything. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I think we hold it. Seeing a land there could have been good, but it's still like, we wouldn't have played anything anyways. We would have just dropped the land and been happy that we had Henrika next turn. So we could double block and take out the priest here, or we could just double block and take out the missionary and see what happens. Could also just let it die. They swung at the original, which means this one could come down and we'd have 3 Ob Nixilis. Let's let it die. Let's keep our both of the devils on the board for now. Because that's the original, guys. The token isn't legendary. But nice, we did get that land. So, how we do this is we go Ob Nixilis, casualty, one of these, and we'll ping face. That's fine. We also, yeah, we don't swing there. Well, yeah, we could have swung, but I want to save blockers back anyways, but I guess we're about to create some blockers. I don't know, we might have missed out on a couple damage there, honestly, so we go -2 on the main to get our devils. We go plus on the obs. I think they're gonna start taking the damage. Like, they have the lifelink here. Oh no, it's just another land. Wow. Then we go plus. Okay, so we're back up to 25. We're feeling pretty safe overall. I want the double blockers to be able to take out missionary if they swing with that next turn. Are they gonna search for a black creature? I wonder. Oh, Sheoldred. Oh, that is awful. Sacrifice another cleric, search your library for a black creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Dude, that is horrible. Our Meathook isn't doing a lot against Sheoldred, as well as a lot of our other removal here too, so. So here's what we want to do. We could let it die. No, because that can always generate another for us. So double block, take out the Shadow Priest. We still have Meathook that can take it out too, though. I think we do this. I think this is fine. How do you guys feel about it? I think that's okay. So we're down to 24. Inspiring Overseer. Okay. Pretty fun deck for the opponent. I do appreciate the variety, that's for sure. Nice. We can successfully Meathook for 3 now if we wanted to, which means if we create 2 devils, we can take out that Sheoldred. We do have enough to do that. Okay, we'll do that. So -2. -2. Meathook for 3. That's pretty brutal, dude. That is a pretty brutal line of play. Oh man, that is brutal. And, oh, we could have plus this first, guys. I'm sorry, I'm playing pretty poorly, honestly. We could have gained 2 more there. If we had the devil. If I would have done that first, I got so excited to actually do something, I guess. Could blitz this back. Henrika's pretty good. Just, let's plus both of these. We know that's happening, because neither of these are, demons or devils, so... We want to save the Ob Nixilis as well. Like I said, just blitzing this back could be really good. We're going to establish a board state, though. Get the Henrika down. And let's go for the draw. And then transform next turn. Oh my goodness. Nice. Bloodcaster off the top. What a draw. This feels really powerful so far, guys. Hey, they got their own Meathook. Dude, nice. A couple blood tokens, that's good news. Our Meathooks balance out. And they got a veteran too, nice, okay. So Gift of Fangs can hit that, but we could, I think Gift of Fangs is fine to discard to a blood token here too. Let's do that. I like keeping the second Meathook though, because we never know when the opponent can actually... Okay, we still have 4 mana. Let's get rid of the mountain too. Another mana, wow. So, it's 2. I don't think we go for devils. I think we blitz back the underdog. Swing on in. We go +1 because these Ob Nixilis are like draining the opponent. Like they're down to 6. I'm gonna keep the swamp in hand for future blood tokens. We get another draw here too. They're down to 5. Nope, they have their Meathook too. So, oh wow, another land. Wow. Inspiring Overseer. Good draws from the opponent so far. Back up to 7. And another land though for them. They go for the swing. Another mountain. Ooh, that's pretty gross. So we're gonna start this time by swinging with underdog because I don't think we play the second Meathook yet. Go for the swing, and we could generate some devils, but again, like these Ob Nixilis are doing a lot. I guess I'll play the swamp. We might as well. We could still Meathook for 1. I'm still gonna hold it, guys. I don't want them to run away with this. If they swing at Ob Nixilis, then like fine, you know. We have the underdog to blitz back. Another swamp. Wow. We had quite the collection of lands on top. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Back up to 2. So yeah, we have the double Ob Nixilis. They have nothing in hand to discard to them, and they only have 3 power here to try to take him out. So we just plus the Ob. GG opponent. Wow. Who would have thought drawing 3 Ob Nixilis? I mean, I guess it's it's a very powerful card, so I guess let's be real, right? But yeah, no, good. Nice. I don't even know what to say about the first game. We felt in control the whole time, I suppose. There were plenty of moments where like the opponent's board state could have gotten out of hand, but our ability to Meathook and then have those devils hit the Shieldred as well, like that play was probably the nail in the coffin. Aw man, this is what I get for saying we have no trouble finding matches. Almost 20 seconds, that's still not that bad to be honest, but of course as soon as I say something, you know? Oh yeah, this is a mulligan. No red source, but like the hand has a necessity for those red sources. So yeah, we mulligan. What? Did we? What? It didn't even look like we mulliganed. What did it change? A swamp? Wait a minute, game. Wait a minute. All right, there we go. Wow, down to 5. Okay. We don't do that very often. We're going to ditch the Sorin because we'll probably have a hard time getting the 4th mana. I guess the Braids? Because we can't guarantee the double black because we might just... The land that we draw might be a mountain. So, yeah, down to 5, guys. We'll see if we can catch up somehow. Ob Nixilis could be a great way to do so. Drops their own Epicure. Nice. Henrika. We could go Blood Token, ditch the Henrika, look for a land. But for now, we're going to keep the Voltage Surge open. No attacks because they might trade, and we need that Epicure for the Ob Nixilis. Soul Ripper. Dude, nice. I have like a little mini mirror match here. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of other cards that give blood tokens then. Okay, we're going to take this. No blocks. And I am going to search for the mana. Even though we could hold Voltage Surge for the Soul Ripper when it comes time. I gotta trust my gut instinct here and look for mana. There we go. We did hit a swamp. So, Bloodcaster is pretty good. Keeping Voltage Surge or the Soul Ripper. Oh, we don't have an artifact though. This is still fine. I think Bloodcaster over Ob Nixilis is better because now Bloodcaster's here for when we do sacrifice to the Ob Nixilis. And let's hold the Epicure back as a blocker this time around then. We'll try to... Oh, this gains Menace too, though. Okay, hey, wow! A mirror match in ranked, guys. That does not happen often. It's a little bit... Like, we definitely have different decks because they're rocking the Soul Ripper. But yeah, a little bit of a mirror match here. Very cool. So... I guess it's worth taking out the Bloodcaster. They get a token, they tap down the Epicure, swing with Soul Ripper's Menace. Right, but this makes it so that way they tap down the Epicures. Oh no, they can do this at instant speed. What am I saying, guys? Dang, dude, I've played Magic once before. It's still like, that's what we were gonna target anyways, you know? So... Has Menace, we could double block here. No, we can't. It's a 5/4. Dude, Soul Ripper is insanely cool. So what I could have done was, I don't know. Yeah, if we saved the Voltage Surge, then we can't hit this till it powers up, but once it does, it'll probably be a 5/6, or a 6/5. Wait, yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Get blockers down. I guess Tenacious Underdog. Ob Nixilis is fine. But Underdog lets us double block the Soul Ripper. Oh man, I don't know, because it's so easy for a deck like this to have removal. So the double block might not happen anyways. Creepy Puppeteer. What on earth? Well, they found... I don't think they power up Soul Ripper this time, guys. I think they just swing. What on earth is going on? Right, so let's take out the Puppeteer. Take the 4 down to 8. Dude, we are getting ripped apart right now. I don't want to get rid of Ob Nixilis. Let's see what we draw. Unfortunately, the mulligan down to 5 is devastating, you know? Finding removal could be good. But we need the mana eventually anyway, so I'm just going to play it. Let's go ahead and casualty out this Ob Nixilis. We get a 1/1 Devil to block 1. And having a couple of these could be enough to gain us enough life to stay in it. Blood token. So we have 3 blood tokens now. We go -2, get the devil for a blocker. We go +1 to gain some life here, back up to 10. Okay, well, we'll see. Yeah, it was an uphill battle the second we had to mulligan, but even so, the opponent's deck looks pretty solid. And that Soul Ripper is terrifying. Like, it could just be their third Epicure. Tap them both down, power up Soul Ripper. Sacrifice a blood token, like the Menace gets by the devil. Oh, they got their own Ob Nixilis. Oh, then they're gonna keep... Yeah, no, okay, I like this. It's really weird to go into a mirror match like this. And they get to take out the other one too, so they double down, get both Ob Nixilis out of here. Very sick plays, because the opponent can play the long game all they want. Except they don't have removal for the 1/1, so I get to take out their Ob Nixilis. But then we might not have blockers for the madness that might come after this. Alright, we're gonna go... We always blitz this out too and keep the 1/1 back. And then we do get a draw off of this too, but taking 2 damage could be really bad. Okay. Let's do it. Like, we're kind of super dead. I think the draw on the underdog is the best bet, because we get to keep the 1/1 as an emergency blocker in case they don't have a chance to power up the Soul Ripper. And we get a draw here too at the end of our turn. You know what we could have done, guys? We could have played the swamp and kept a red source open, or kept our Haunted Ridge open in case we drew some removal at the end, some instant speed removal. We might still find a cut down, so I'm gonna play this. Yeah, kind of my bad. We should have played swamp and kept the Haunted Ridge open. Based on what we drew here, it could have... Okay, we didn't get punished for it, but we like to see Meathook, I think. The Soul Ripper gets around the Meathook, though. Woo, buddy. All right. Yeah, I don't think we get rid of Meathook, and I don't think we die here either, so... 7 damage coming through. They actually just swing with Soul Ripper because they don't want their Epicure to die, which happens to be better for us. Because if they don't have creatures in hand, we might survive. Now they do get to search a lot of cards off the top. This is an awesome match. I'm sad we couldn't have a little bit of a more of a fair fight. Going down to 5 is rough. But like, I'm pretty pleased with how the deck was able to sustain itself over here, and the Meathook's pretty nasty. It's too bad that Soul Ripper's gonna get them there, I think. Depends what they have in hand, though. Whoops, X is 3. So, we could swing first. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I guess we'll swing. The problem here is, if they block, okay, then we would gain 1 less life, which might actually come in handy. Yeah, because if they blocked there, like, the life gain off the Epicure and everything is going to be pretty important. Let's see if they have what they need to power up Soul Ripper. Or back up to 3. They could even, like, have an underdog to blitz down. Oh, Bloodtithe Harvester. Yeah, hey, good game opponent. Soul Ripper really coming in handy there. That is a card to think about, for sure. Because, like, yeah, Soul Ripper's a card to think about for this build. Because of the sacrifice ability. I don't know why I didn't think about putting Soul Ripper at least in the honorable mentions. Very cool opponent, very nice. Sacrifice artifact or creature. Yeah. Like, on so many levels, at least one Soul Ripper could go a long way in a build like this, so... The matches have been a little bit longer, so we might only have time for 1 or 2 more, but we'll see. We'll see what we can end up doing here. Yeah, seeing that in ranked, that was sick. Now the ranks did recently reset, which is why we're chilling in silver rank right now. Good hand. No mulligan this time, thank goodness. Opponents go first though. Great, this is good. This is amazing. This is a lineup, guys. We have removal with the Gift of Fangs, or if we don't need the removal, just some extra damage. More Rakdos? Did they change something with matchmaking? Like we're seeing... Are they pitting us against similar builds? I don't think so. I think it's just a coincidence right now. Tenacious Underdog. Gift of Fangs is fine against Underdog. Oh, Voltage Surge is a great draw, though. Just go Crucible, Epicure, keep Voltage Surge open. Bloodtithe Harvester is good, too. I think I like this, though. I like Crucible, Epicure, Voltage Surge open. I don't know if they're going to be able to sacrifice Underdog, though, to like an instant speed something or another. Alright, we'll take it out now. It's not the best target, like hitting like a heart. Yeah. Saving it for their own Harvester could be better. Alright, we'll keep it open. I've convinced myself. I just hope they don't have anything instant speed to be able to sacrifice the Underdog to. Or it could be an Ob Nixilis, honestly. That would be pretty bad, too. Could be pretty bad. Meathook for 1, huh? Okay. Alright, we'll take it out. We'll take it out. This is a lot less damage. Voltage Surge could do a lot, but... like, this isn't bad. They don't get to swing here. It would have been a 2-1. Yeah, I think this is okay. It's tough, guys. Keep a blood token open. Bloodcaster would be good. Gift of Fangs. Maybe if we took the damage, we could have used the Gift of Fangs. I'm gonna save the Bloodcaster back for now. I don't know, a lot of little decisions right now to think about. Like it's not so straightforward that it's just like, oh yeah, this is the obvious play for the turn. Especially when we don't entirely know what the opponent is playing right now too. So if it was Bloodcaster, their removal would have at least given us that blood token anyways. So you see how that comes into play then. Where earlier, if we would have played our Swamp instead of Crucible, we would have been able to give the Gift of Fangs to Harvester, so it didn't quite get gobbled up by the Voltage Surge. Well, it could have, though. See, now our Gift of Fangs can't hit Harvester, which is what I said earlier about the Voltage Surge. Maybe save that for the Harvester. So this is really coming full circle for the opponent, I suppose. We might not get rid of anything. Yeah, let's keep it all. Epicure, nice. Pretty good draw. Bloodcaster comes down. They have the blood token open over here is what that is. Blood token, if they get blood token number 2, then they'll be able to hit Bloodcaster even with the Gift of Fangs attached to it. But it's not too bad to let them do that. If we do this on our turn, they won't have a cut down available for next turn. There's a 4-3 now. I don't know, guys. Yeah, a lot of little decisions that might lead to this loss. It very well might lead to this loss. If they swing here, we block with Epicure, we get the 5th blood token, and then we get to transform this to the Bloodbat Summoner, which is actually just insane. Like, we would prefer that. They could blitz out Underdog with 1 more mana. Got their Oni Cult. Okay. Yeah, okay. Wow, there's a lot we could draw. An Ob Nixilis off the top would be insane. Anything like that, though. I hope we get to see our Braids today. That would be cool. We're both at 19. Come on, get that swing. Come on. Yes, okay. Oh no, they're changing their mind. No, stop it, opponent. Oh, wait, I want this. I want to flip the Bloodcaster so bad. I don't think I ever have. I literally don't know if I've ever flipped Bloodcaster. Oh no, they figured it out. They're like, yeah, I guess that could be bad. All right, let's... I would love to be able to flip this, but let's be real. Keeping a land in hand, let's see if we find a different thing, huh? It kind of sucks. We lose a blood token, but there's a lot we could get here. Voltage Surge. This activate only as a sorcery too, so we should probably just Voltage Surge now. Before combat and then full swing. How do you guys feel about that? They still have their blood token open, by the way. It's decent. Like, removing the Harvester is 100% A-okay. And then a trade with Epicure is pretty good too, unless they drop a Liliana. But man, it's a tough decision. They're down to 14. That's good. So no Liliana then, because they would want us to be sacrifice the Bloodcaster over the Epicure. 5th mana hits. They still have Underdog in the grave. Blitzing it on back, swinging for 4, and they have Oni Cult open to bring them back up to 13 when it comes time. They get a 1/1 blocker. I like having the blood tokens to help us filter. This is 1 life. We're down to 13. They want to do this on their turn, so they get the 1/1. They're going to ditch the 1/1 over the blood token, which means they probably are planning to either Voltage Surge with the blood token or use the blood token because they only drew land. Both are options for sure. All right. Let's swing. Yeah, they could have easily drawn their own Voltage Surge off the Tenacious Blitz there, but it looks like they might just be using the blood token because it might just be land. Yeah. All right. And Fable is a terrific draw for us, because we get to block the 1/1 now, or we can block the blitzed Tenacious Underdog, which I don't believe we do. They have 3 cards in hand. This is anyone's game. Sheoldred. Oh no, guys. Oh, that's so bad. Oh no. Oh, even a Meathook off the top won't do it here. What could do it? Man, they're going down. They're down at 7. This Bloodcaster could do it. It depends, guys. We really, if we find something to sacrifice our own creatures. Oh, they go back up to 8. Oh, Ob Nixilis. We're down to 7. I think we keep Ob Nixilis, right? Ditch the Epicure. That only gives us 4 blood tokens, though. Oh, no, guys. I think we still keep the Ob Nixilis because of the life gain. Decline. Because I used that 1 blood token earlier. Yeah, this flies in beautifully. Okay, how do we want to do this? Oh, it's only a 2/2 bat anyway, so we wouldn't have been able to get there. Oh yeah, the damage off the Ob Nixilis, I suppose. Well, maybe the damage off of Ob Nixilis. Start with the full swing and see what they block. But if we lose both of these, then we don't have great targets. But losing the Bloodcaster to Ob. All right, yeah, I think it's do or die. Let's do this. Start with the full swing and see what they do. Yeah, if we get to keep at least one of these, so they know that we're trying to get those blood tokens here too. So they're taking 5. Down to 3. We're down to 6. They're going to gain 1 from us sacrificing because Meathook is disgusting. Casualty. And if we get rid of Bloodcaster, then we don't have the flying threat. If we get anything too small, then they might target just face and just keep going face. So let's keep the Epicure and let's go Shaman. Also, Epicure is good to keep. So they're back up to 4 here. So they have 1 card in hand, so the Ob Nixilis plus ability doesn't get us there because they just discard the 1 card and then they only go down to 2 and then they gain 2 from Shieldred. So we're forced to go. -2, bring a creature. +1, gain 2, and they probably discard, especially a land. They take the 2, go back up to 4. This is insane, guys. We have the blocker for Shieldred. We are at 8. We have 2 Ob Nixilis. They go for the sacrifice. Back up to 5. We're down to 7. They got their own Fable. We have 4 damage in the air, guys. They need removal for the Bloodcaster. Urborg Repossession. Well, if this is it could still be a Voltage Surge. We block. And we hit face. We hit face, back up to 7. They have 2 cards in hand. We go down to 5. This is insane. I don't know how to get the last little bit of damage through because of all this life gain. This doesn't have haste, so we can't copy the Voldaren Epicure. If we plus both Ob Nixilis, then they still just aren't gonna die here. Let's start with the pluses. I don't think we -2 the Ob Nixilis. But if we don't, they easily, we have chump blockers on the ground, Oni Call. If we don't gain life here, guys, if we don't gain life, then it might be over. So many issues. We can discard. All right. It's kind of the same concept as last turn. It's do or die. We're plussing both of these. Gets rid of their hand. They have Oni Cult. They have the Meathook damage. They don't know what's in our hands, so they probably discard. They can't blitz this out successfully because they're in danger. They gain 2 off of Shieldred. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I could have used the blood token to see if we found something else on top. Alright, because we could find another Ob Nixilis, guys. We should have done that first. Henrika. Woo, down to 3, though. Oh no, guys. We get to transform Henrika. You got to do this before combat. Transform for lifelink. Sacrifice. No, because of the Meathook. Oh, this is tough. This is so tough, guys. It's so tough. Keep a blocker back. Down to 3. They gain so much. They're going back up to 5. Oni Cult deals 1. Oni Cult hitting Construct. Yeah, I don't think we drew off a blood token. I think the Shieldred is going to win them this game. Oh? They have Oni Cult. They're going to draw with... So we're going down to 1 here. Oh yeah, and then... Oh yeah, we're dead because of Shieldred. Oh man, I could have played it out better. I know it. I just know it, guys, because the lifelink doesn't matter. They don't have to swing. Good game, opponent. Guys, I could have played that one better. What a tough battle that was. Wow. Let me think. Let me know in the comments, first of all, because I always enjoy reading those and seeing what you guys would have done better. So I shouldn't have drawn. That was a big thing. We should have kept that to life. Number 2, I got greedy with the Ob Nixilis. If we would have made a devil, we would have been able to plus the other Ob, gain 2 life. Maybe we would have been able to survive there. Ah, man. Very long matches today. I would love to play more of this deck because it seems really powerful. It seems really fun too. And we didn't get to see our Braids Arisen Nightmare today, did we? I don't believe we did. So The deck was really fun. It was really cool. It did a lot of Rakdos things, which was awesome. The vampires were sick. If we would have been able to flip Bloodcaster, we would have been able to win there, maybe. So if we had more ways to generate blood tokens, maybe, just maybe, we would have been able to win that last game. But I don't know. Playing Henrika, or yeah, just using that blood token, there were so many things that happened in that last turn that was just no good for me, right? Because we drew off the blood token, which we lost 2 life from the Shieldred, and Shieldred's just really powerful and very, very hard to get around, where, yeah, if we're trying to generate any value for ourselves from our own deck, then Shieldred punishes us for that. And so, yeah, it was kind of my fault. I could have played it a little slower, and maybe we would have survived an extra turn, and maybe that extra turn would have been enough. But in reality, we only had that one flyer in the air, which had the Gift of Fangs attached to it. So our 4/3 swinging in the air every turn wasn't enough to keep up with the life gain from Oni Cult and Shieldred and Meathook, because they were successfully able to gain for every single turn. So tough battles, really fun deck. I would play more of this in the future. I would consider ranking up with this too, even though we didn't get to see a lot of victories today. The reason I would consider it is because first of all, I love Rakdos, but maybe not because the games took so long too. Those were pretty long games, and I think maybe a lot of games with this deck would go longer. Maybe it was just one of those days too. Either way, hey, if you made it this far into the video, then y'all are champions, and I super duper appreciate you. Let me know what you would add or take out down in the comments. I love reading those. Seeing what you guys would have done differently is awesome to me, so that's part of the fun of Magic, in my opinion. So guys, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video.